And now the next case.
All parties in the matter, Lewis versus Robbins. Step forward, please.
Homemaker Debbie Lewis is suing her ex-husband, assembly line worker James Robbins, for half the cost of their daughter's wedding. Debbie says he reneged on his promise to pay.
Ms. Lewis, the defendant is your former husband, and according to the complaint that I read, he agreed to pay for half of your daughter's wedding. Which one of these two lovelies is getting married? What's your name?
Angie.
How old are you, Angie?
23.
When are you getting married?
I already got married. I got married in September.
And he agreed to pay for half the wedding, and it was a very reasonably priced wedding. Half the cost of the wedding was $865. And he didn't pay.
No.
And you wanted to pay.
Yes.
And he did go to the wedding.
Yes. He walked her down the aisle, did everything the father does, except for pay.
Okay. Now, Mr. Robbins does not deny the fact that he agreed to pay for half the wedding. Correct, sir?
Correct.
And he does not deny the fact that he went to the wedding. Correct?
Correct.
And who else went with you to the wedding?
My wife, Robin.
So, Mr. Robbins, the ball is in your court, sir. Why didn't you pay for half your daughter's wedding as you promised?
Well, because ever since I've left her in 90, she's been putting her hands in my pockets trying to get money out of me for everything. And the divorce decree that we have does say that she gets to use the kids for taxes reasons. But the state of Utah took custody from her because of verbal and physical abuse. And I got a paper here that says that the divorce decree follows the child. And it cost me $1,600 because she did claim my daughter on taxes where I have the right to. And I also have a letter from her that's showing that the custodial parent gets to claim them on taxes. And if that's the case, I didn't get claimed for 13 years that we've been divorced.
If you believe that in a certain year, I assume last year, that you had the right to claim a child as a deduction, she claims the child. You claim the child, and the IRS is going to come and look at both of your tax returns and say they will make a decision as to who is going to claim the child as a deduction. The other one will have a penalty. But you don't do a set-off. You promise to pay for half the wedding. Why didn't you pay her between September and April?
I told her that I would pay her when I could.
No, that's not right. What do you mean when you could? How many children do you have?
Well, I have 4 with my wife now, Doctor.
We have 3 children.
Just a second. You have 4 children now. And how many children do you have that got married last year?
Just 1.
And you said you would pay for half the wedding.
Yes, I did.
Pay for it. It's the right thing to do. And stop making excuses. And stop telling me what happened in 1990. That she's had her hand in your pocket. You
well, it just all added up. I mean, everything's added up.
Mr. Robbins, you have altogether 7 children?
Well, I've got 4 stepchildren, 3.
Then I'm not talking about your stepchildren. They are not your responsibility.
Oh, I married them, so I feel they are.
Well, I'm telling you, by law, they are not your responsibility unless your family is on welfare, are they?
No.
Well, if your family is not on welfare, then those children are not your financial responsibility. They are the financial responsibility of their mother and their father, not you. You have primary responsibility for only 3 biological children. 3. And your first biological child was getting married. She was having a very small wedding. $865 represents your half. And if you didn't have the money to pay the $865, you should have gotten another job. Do I make myself clear, sir?
Yes.
Judgment for the plaintiff in the amount of $865. That's all.
Thank you.
Parties are excused. Release step down.
And now the next case.
All parties in the matter, Gifford versus Swisher. Step forward, please.
Plaintiff Donna Gifford is suing her ex-boyfriend, construction worker Fred Swisher, for illegally evicting her from their home. Fred says Donna is vindictive and out of control.
Ms. Gifford, you and the defendant lived together as boyfriend and girlfriend from when to when?
From October of 2003 till June of 2004.
And you moved into his apartment?
His house, yes.
Into his house?
Yes.
Did you pay him any rent?
Yes, I did.
When?
June of 2004.
So from October of 2003 until June of 2004, you paid him no rent?
No.
Now, this lawsuit is about the fact that you claim that sometime in June of 2004, you gave him a check for $500. And within 2 days of that, he locked you out of the house.
Correct.
So you want not only your $500 back, but you want 10 times those damages because you claim he illegally evicted you
Absolutely.
from the house. Why did you put her out of the house?
This all happened on the 17th, this was Thursday. On the 12th, it was a Saturday. We got into a real bad fight.
Was it a verbal fight or a physical fight?
Verbal fight, but the police were called later that day.
Okay. That was on the 12th?
Yes.
What happened after the 12th?
Well, Sunday we got back together, made amends. Monday she wrote me a check for $500. $400 of it was supposed to be to help pay the bills. $100 of it was supposed to be to pay for my phone that she threw in the canal on Saturday.
Did you throw his phone in the canal on Saturday?
No, I did not, Your Honor.
What happened to his phone?
I don't know.
Don't smile. What happened to his phone? You don't make up a story like that.
I don't know what happened to his phone. It was in the canal. It fell off his boat.
It went into the canal. How did it get there?
We were on the boat that day.
And?
And I don't know how it got in the canal. It was in the canal.
How did it get into the canal?
I never had possession of my phone that day. She had picked it up and stuck it in a baggie when we got on the boat because that's what we usually do so they don't get wet. And then the next day, we couldn't find my phone and I took off. Later she had called me and said, I seen it in the water by your dock. And she fished it out.
Okay, so she didn't throw it into the canal. You didn't have a fight on the boat, did you?
Oh, yeah.
You did have a fight on the boat.
That's where it all started.
Well, it seems to me, Miss Gifford, that it was a good idea for you to not live anymore as a couple. Wouldn't you say that?
Well, yes, in a sense.
What do you mean
I
in a
could say
sense?
that. Well,
just listen to me. If you're fighting with somebody,
right.
to the extent that the police are called, it's a good idea that one of you leave.
Correct.
Well, you didn't expect that to be Mr. Swisher. It's his house.
Correct.
So it had to be you.
Correct.
So why didn't you leave after this altercation on the 12th?
Because he kept telling me, nope, I don't want you to go. I'm sorry, I got drunk. I shouldn't have acted this way. I'm sorry I locked the doors. I promise I won't do it again. Okay, fine. I'd stay or I'd move back in. I mean, this was a constant thing.
You should have been smart enough to say, listen, I'm not going to be a yo-yo. I'm going to find my own place to live, or I'm going to pay rent, or I'm going to pay for my own expenses.
Right.
I don't need you. Do you work?
I was working at the time. I got fired because of this.
So let's talk about the $500. On the 15th of June, she gave you a check for $500.
Yes.
And then 2 days later, you changed the locks.
No, I didn't change the locks. She agreed to move out, and I moved her out for her.
Fine. Terrific. So you have to give her back her $500.
Even for the cell phone?
Yeah, because I don't think that there's proof that she vindictively threw the cell phone overboard. You said you handed her the cell phone, you put it in a baggie as you usually did, and she asked her where it was, and she said she saw it in the canal. Mr. Swisher, she gave you $500. You put her out. You lived together for 11 months. She wasn't paying rent, according to you, until the very last moment. So you took her money, and then you said goodbye. And you moved her out, which was a good thing. But you have to give her back her $500. Don't be a baby. Judgment for the plaintiff in the amount of $500. Good?
Thank you, Your Honor.
Good, thank you.
Why you let step out?
It was all a messed up deal all the way around.
All you gotta do is give me my $500 back. That's it.
And I probably do owe her the $500 back, because within 2 days I asked her to leave my house.
You want me out? Just tell me, leave.
We were both so much in love at one time, and it just seemed like it all just kind of went kaput.
Don't say 1 minute you love me, and next minute I hate you.
I'll probably always care for her.
I just want to be treated with respect.
Cynthia Zane is suing her ex-boyfriend, handyman George Flores, for the money she paid him to work on her house. George says Cynthia never let him finish the job. He is countersuing for his out-of-pocket expenses.
Now, this is case number 274 on the calendar in the matter of Zane versus Flores. Parties have been sworn in, Judge. You may be seated. Folks, have a seat, please.
Mr. Nay, according to what I read, you met the defendant in May of 2004. Where did you meet him?
I met him at a neighborhood bar.
Remember what date in May?
It was the first Friday in May. I think it was the 6th.
According to you, you and the defendant had a romantic relationship.
Correct.
And there came a time when he needed some money. 2 or 3 separate occasions. You loaned him the money, and the repayment was supposed to be work done in your home by
Correct.
the defendant. You paid him the money.
Correct.
He never did the work. Or he started the work but never completed it. And some he never did.
Well, he didn't do very much.
And so you want the money back.
Correct.
Mr. Flores says that there was never a romantic relationship that existed between the two of you, that you hired him to do work in your home. He performed the work. You never paid him. And he's got a counterclaim for that work. And both of you have claims against each other for harassment. Each of you say the other is harassing. So what was the first loan? How much? And how did you give him the money?
I gave the money to him in cash.
For what?
It was for an automobile.
When was that?
That was June 6th, 2004.
And how much was it?
It was for $750.
So you gave him $750 then. And how was he supposed to pay you back that money?
He was supposed to perform work on my house.
What work specifically for the $750?
Okay, he was supposed to finish the trim around his sunroom, install a bathroom vanity and sink, repair to bathroom tile cleaning, caulking, and treating mold and mildew.
I see you're looking at something. What is it that you're looking at?
I'm looking at the receipts he signed.
Can I see them, please? Did he do any of this work?
The only thing that he did, he mowed the lawn one time. He cut down a tree in the front yard. He power washed the front of the house.
And when did he perform this work?
Probably June 5th, maybe the 4th. First week in June.
Look, I asked you when the first money that you gave him was. You said it was June 6, 2004. You gave him $750 for a car.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, $750. Here's the receipt, and I have it dated 6/21/04. And he was supposed to finish trim around the sunroom, install a bathroom vanity, and he signed this thing, and you signed it, and it says paid in advance. But now you say that he did this work on June 4th. So he did the work.
He did part of the work.
Okay, so he did part of the work.
Right.
Good. Now, when was the next time you gave him money?
The next time I gave him money would have been a week later, maybe 10 days later.
Now, when did you start to have a romantic relationship with Mr. Flores?
Probably the second week of May.
Well, tell me about the nature of your romantic relationship.
The nature of our romantic relationship was he told me he was unmarried.
Did you go out for dinner?
We sat at Chili's one day, and he told me he was divorced in April 2004.
Did you ever take her to Chili's, sir?
Chili's?
Chili's restaurant.
Never.
Never.
Never did. Not a Chili's restaurant. Never
Did you ever take it to any restaurants, Mr. Flores?
No.
Oh, it's not it. Listen to me, Mr. Flores. I know everything.
No, ma'am. I only went to one to Jackie D's. That was on the 19th of August. That's the last time we went out together. And
Mr. Flores, you're not following what I'm saying, sir.
Okay.
Maybe we're having a communications problem.
okay.
Did you ever go out to eat with the plaintiff?
Yes. Yes, I did.
Mr. Flores, you don't think that you're smarter than I am, do you?
No, ma'am.
Shh. You're not. So that when I ask you a question, you would do well to answer the question directly, truthfully the first time, so that you and I don't have to do a dance around the truth. Do I make myself clear?
Correct.
How many times were you and the plaintiff out for dinner?
Like
Look up!
2 or 3 times.
Okay. And of the 2 or 3 times, according to you, the one place that you never went was Chili's.
Exactly.
Where did you go when you went out for dinner?
Jackie D's.
Do you remember the days that you went to Jackie D's?
Exactly. 19th.
That was the
It
last
on
time,
Fri-
sir.
That was
Before
the last
that.
time. And before that, I went out with her to another place. I can't recall the name of it.
And do you remember about what time you got home?
Yeah, I believe I got home like around like 12:30 or 1 o'clock.
Now, at the time, Mr. Flores, you were living with whom?
My wife.
Where did you tell your wife you were on those evenings, Mr. Flores?
I told her I was out in a. I told her I was out in a business.
You told your wife you were out on business?
Yes, with the lady I was working on.
No, Mr. Listen to me, sir.
Okay.
Your wife is not an idiot, is she?
No, believe me, she's not.
Right. So when you were out until 12:30 or 1 o'clock in the morning, you wouldn't have told your wife that you were out with a lady discussing cleaning the mold out of her bathroom, right? So you told your wife that you were out on business, correct?
Yes.
And that was a lie. Is not an answer, Mr. Flores.
No, it wasn't a lie. She had called me the same day to meet her and Jackie D's so we could discuss about the payment of pay me for the job I did at her house.
How long did that take, Mr. Flores?
That took us at least an hour or two. We had a couple of drinks. We sat down, and next thing you know, it was like around 12:30, 1 o'clock. We got into an argument. She left me there. I had to call my brother to pick me up, and that was it.
Well, just a second. Why was that? How did you get there?
She picked me up.
Picked you up from where?
She picked me up from the well, the wishing well.
What's the
That's
wishing
the neighborhood bar where I met her in the beginning.
So she picked you up at one bar and you went someplace else
Yes.
to discuss it?
Yes.
Why didn't you discuss the payment at the wishing well, sir?
Because she didn't want to stay there.
Miss Flores,
That
is
was it.
that you?
Yes,
You understand that he's full of baloney, don't you? Huh?
Yes, ma'am.
Good. I just want to make sure that we understand each other.
Judge Judy continues in a moment. Cynthia Zane says ex-boyfriend George Flores owes for the return of money she paid him to work on her home. Cynthia says George lied about being divorced.
Now, so you advanced him in total $3,000.
Yes.
And he only performed part of the work.
Right.
And after the romance was over.
After we did the first. Oh, no. This went on until August 22nd. August 22nd was the last time I seen George.
Well, tell me about August 22nd.
August 22nd, we went to Jackie D's, and that's when we got in the argument because I confronted him. He knew that I was on the case about him being married. He kept denying it over and over, and I just didn't buy it. And that was that. I just didn't want anything to do with him after that.
Well, how did you find out he was married?
I got a tip from somebody, and then I went to the records in Pasco County, and I got his address, and it says George W. Flores and Letitia Flores, and it gave the address. So that's how I know how to serve him the papers.
Okay. Now, tell me about the harassment.
The harassment?
Yeah.
Basically, the harassment didn't start. I had call logs. I shared a phone with him, with Sprint. He had, shared minutes. And I gave him my phone.
You gave him a phone?
Right.
Is that right, sir?
Yes, it is.
Why would she give you a phone?
To keep in contact with her, to finish up on a job.
This many times a day highlighted.
That's because I had no phone for her to get in contact with me whatsoever.
You were living home with your wife?
Yes, I was.
Why couldn't she call you at home if this was a business proposition?
I do not have a home phone. That's the reason why
He has a home phone.
Just a second. Your wife doesn't have a home phone?
No, we have a cell phone.
Well, she had to get in touch with you, and if the only phone that you had was a cell phone, why didn't she call your wife and say, listen, I'm a client of your husband's?
Because of the fact is, she kept all the time shutting off the phone that she had bought, and the one that my wife had was always only for emergency purposes, and that's the reason she got the phone for me, because I told her I couldn't call her for my wife's phone.
What kind of work do you do?
Me, I'm on SSI, ma'am.
What's the nature of your disability, Mr. Flores?
Mental depression.
How long have you been on SSI?
10 years.
You have children, Mr. Flores?
Yes, I do.
How old are they?
My oldest is 10 years old,
Yes.
and the other one's 7, and the other one is 5.
So you're not that depressed?
Well,
Huh?
I guess not.
I guess not.
Yeah.
And I'm real interested in your counterclaim, because your counterclaim is for $3,000. Because according to you, Mr. Flores, you had a verbal contract with the plaintiff for $2,500 to do labor on her home.
Exactly.
So you're not too depressed to do labor, because you say you completed the work. Isn't that right?
Right.
So it's rather interesting. Social Security Administration is really going to be interested in the fact that somebody who suffers for 10 years from manic depression is able to do heavy manual labor in somebody's house for $2,500 in cash.
Well, it was basically...
Well, what?
Well, basically, when she hired me, it was only to clean up the house.
Is this the first time in 10 years, Mr. Flores,
Yes.
that you performed manual labor?
Yes, ma'am.
Really?
Yes, ma'am.
So you're telling me in 10 years, sir, aside from making 2 or 3 children, the only work that you've done was for the plaintiff, the amount of $2,500 for which you were not paid. Is that what you're telling me?
Yes, ma'am.
And it was just your bad luck that that job ended you up in court before me.
Yes, ma'am.
And you're going to get to tell that story all over again, Mr. Flores, to the Social Security Administration, because I'm going to see to it that they get the tape. Do we understand each other?
Yes, ma'am.
Very good. Okay, I just want to tell you this. It's very hard for me to put a dollar figure on the work that he did. Gave him $3,000. Let's say power wash the front, power wash the driveway. He cut down a tree in the front of the house. So you figure, even if he... Hey, were you on commission or booth rent?
In May, I was on booth rent.
And at the end of April, were you on booth rent?
In April, I was on booth rent.
So what you're telling me is Miss Washington, who was in business to make money, said to you, well, you can't pay me booth rent, which is what I want, which is $75, but I'm going to allow you, because your clientele is not so good, I'm going to allow you to go on commission, which means I'm going to make less money for the entire month of June. She's going to make less money. Is that right? Is that what you want me to believe? Is that, I just want to know, is that what you want me to believe?
Yes, Your Honor, that's the
Okay.
truth.
And then in the entire month of June, how much money did you give her?
It's all written down inside my book on the money I made.
Can I speak, Your Honor?
Yes.
Every single time that she made money, she only every single time said, this is what I can give you. This is what
That
I
is
can
not
give
believe
you.
you. Just a second.
Every
Miss
single
Washington,
time.
Miss
That is not
Washington,
true.
I believe you.
Every single time.
I believe you.
I have copies of checks when I paid her.
Do you
full
have the
booth rent.
book? Do you have the
Shut up!
We started having a conflict after my
Listen to
income
me.
dropped.
I do not believe you that this lady who is in business to make money would say to you, you don't have to pay that $75 a week because you don't have a good enough business to pay $75 a week.
Well, I
pay less than $75 a week. So, all right. Judgment for the plaintiff in the amount of $300.
Thank you, Your Honor.
Parties are excused. You may step out.
She started off irresponsible, was not paying rent from the get-go.
I was paying my $75 every single week.
She would not do anything that we asked her, and she stood clients up.
When we got into the salon, it was so loud and noisy.
She had several different children that would come to the salon.
They played their music over. You couldn't even talk to each other.
People are coming to work to get their nails done and not to babysit.
These are clients that had been with me for 6 months prior to moving to her salon.
She was not responsible at all.
They just said it was just too loud and too busy in there.
She wouldn't dress right.
How am I going to pay her what I want when she's a business owner?
She has no business ethics. She don't have any morals. She don't pay her bills on time, and that's probably why she have a minimum wage job right now.
She just lied. She just went in there and lied.
I'm a business owner, and I have to love everybody until they mess up.
She's going to have to live with herself.
I still care about her. I just can't work with her.
Retail assistant manager Linda Collins is suing her son, 25-year-old electrician Andrew Williams, for an unpaid loan to pay his bills. Linda says Andrew pawned her jewelry to get the money.
This is case number 342 on the calendar in the matter of Collins versus Williams. Parties have been sworn in. You may be seated, sir.
How old are you, Mr. Williams?
25.
What do you do for a living?
Electrician.
How long have you been an electrician?
About 4 years.
You freelance or you work for somebody?
Work for somebody.
Same job?
No.
How many different jobs have you had in the last year?
2 or 3.
Have a drug problem?
No.
Ever have a drug problem?
No.
Never.
I never had a drug problem.
Did you ever use drugs?
In the past, when I was a kid, yes.
Have a gambling problem?
No.
Why is it that an able-bodied young man like you, who's 25 years old, who has a profession, has to take money from his mother?
I didn't take money from my mother.
Well, you did.
It was
You
given
took-
to me.
You took, notice, I didn't use the word borrow, loan. You, in fact, took money. Bird, would you take these glasses from me? Now, I'm going to take them back from you. I didn't borrow them. It wasn't a loan. I took the glasses. He took the glasses. Do you understand? Why would a 25-year-old, able-bodied, non-drug abusing electrician have to take money from his mother by having her pawn her jewelry?
Financial problems.
Well, you explain that to me, sir.
Well, I mean, at the time, I was unemployed.
Oh, well, I asked you about that.
But at the time when she gave me money, I was unemployed.
Why?
Because I didn't have a job. They were laying people off. In my field, that happens. When there ain't work, they lay you off.
And when you're laid off, Mr. Williams, what do you do?
Well, you try to collect unemployment. Sometimes you get it, sometimes you don't.
Where do you live?
In Dallas.
Now, in Dallas, Texas, do they have car washers?
Yes.
They have people at the car washers that dry the cars when they're all finished?
Yes.
They're always looking for car dryers. Who were you living with at the time you lost your job?
Myself.
So you needed rent money?
Yes.
You have a car?
Yes. Well,
So you needed money for gas?
yes.
And they repossessed your car?
Yes.
I'll get to you in a minute. And so your mother took her jewelry and you went and you pawned her jewelry, right?
Yes.
And you got your car out of hock.
Yes.
And then you owed somebody either some money or a television set.
Yes.
Tell me about that.
Brought it over to my house. I needed a place to stay, or I needed to put the TV somewhere because he was moving out of his apartment. And
Don't look at the floor, look at me. I can tell everything,
bills
Mr. Williams.
were tight on my end, so I pawned it. And
So somebody left you their television to hold on for them
Yes.
and keep it in your house.
Yes.
And you agreed to do that.
Yes.
And then you took the television set and you pawned it because you needed cash.
Yes.
What'd you need cash for?
Rent.
Why didn't you get a job?
I was looking for work at that time.
In Dallas, Texas? Oh, I can guarantee you that there were restaurants always looking for help, car washers always looking for help.
Electrical companies weren't.
If you got to eat, you got to work. Can't steal somebody else's property. That's what you did. You took somebody's television set and you pawned it. That's stealing their property. So this person was very angry at you.
Yes.
So you went to your mother and you told her that this person was very angry and was going to hurt you unless
No,
you
he
got
went-
back
he-
his television.
He went to her.
Oh, he went to her and said, I'm going to hurt him unless I get my TV back. How many children do you have?
5.
Youngest or oldest?
Middle. I have given money in the past for, like, he's got a daughter. He was trying to get custody. I gave him that money. I gave it to him. That TV, I didn't even know he had a big screen. He sold 8 rings of mine. He made a profit on them.
I'm not finished yet.
Okay.
I didn't make a profit. Everything went towards paying bills.
When you went to get the television set out of pawn shop for your friend,
Mm-hmm.
how much money did you pay for it? And give me the name of the pawn shop.
Cash America Pawn Shop, it was about 500 and some change. Not exact. I don't know
And how much did you get for your mother's rings?
The exact amount that needed to be paid for.
Or did you get a couple of $100 more?
Huh?
Huh? Or did you get a couple of $100 more?
No, I don't think I got a couple $100 more.
Well, let's see. Do you have the
Yes,
ones?
I do. Here's for the TV there. There's where you got the $450 and all my rings for that day, the pawn.
So the loan amount on the TV was $450, is that right? And he got $519.75.
That's what it cost to get it out.
And how much did he get for
To
the
get
rings?
it, he got $845.75.
What'd you
That
do
was
with the rest of the money?
$326 profit.
Bills.
Did you ask your mother if you could use the rest for bills?
No.
So then you stole from this man, and you also stole from your mother.
No.
Yeah, you did.
No.
You can say no all you like. I guarantee you I'm going to have the last word, sir. Guaranteed. If your mother pays off a debt for you because she's afraid for your health and your welfare, and she says, here, take these rings and go and just get it done.
My health was never in danger. I wasn't afraid of my life neither. Far from that. I don't care what anybody threats.
They just buried one of his friends 2 weeks ago because of his friends, okay?
Those things, listen.
Yeah.
It happens.
Yeah.
Right?
Yep.
It happens. He's not afraid. He's not afraid.
You never know it that day, okay?
Yeah. Well, tell me what happened on that day.
When he found out what was going to happen, he started, Mama, please, just give me the money. Just give me the money. I'll pay you back. I'll pay you back.
I didn't say that.
Yes, you did.
Where you come up with that?
Mr. Williams, I don't want to hear
She's
you.
lying.
No, I'm not.
Listen to me. Listen to me. Have a talk with him.
Sure.
Thank you.
He was...
In here.
Let her do his thing.
So
I'm not going to let her lie to me.
You're not listening to me. I want you to listen. Just finish the case. Speak when you're spoken to. It's a good idea.
Yeah.
Okay?
Sure.
You understand me?
Yeah.
Okay.
Mr. Williams, you're going to have an opportunity to speak again.
Okay.
When your mother is speaking, don't interrupt her.
Judge Judy continues in a moment. Linda Collins says her son, Andrew Williams, pawned her jewelry so he could pay off his debts. Linda claims Andrew's life was in danger.
When did he tell you that he would return the money that you gave him for the car?
For the car, he told me that he would get the rings out, and they all went in on separate, tickets so he could get it back. And he made a couple of payments of $80. That don't cover interest, though. Here's the tickets for that, and they don't cover interest.
So he made a couple of payments?
No, he gave me two $80 payments and a $50 payment. That's interest. And I told him that. I said, Andy, this isn't getting the rings. This is interest.
Okay. So, but he did give you some money?
Yeah.
There you go. Andy, how come you gave your mother some money?
Goodwill gift.
Here's a letter from the dealership.
I don't need it. I don't need it. He's just a smart aleck. You know what?
Yes, he is.
Next time somebody threatens to break his kneecaps, let him.
Mm-hmm.
Let him.
I'm his mother. He could do this to me.
Yeah, let him. Okay, so that's the car. He made some payments on the things that he pawned. When you started to tell me, when this man came to you and told you that he had pawned his TV, did you call your son? Or did
Yes.
your son? And what happened when you called your son?
He said he's got to get the TV out. The guy was going to file theft and threaten damage to Andrew, everything. And I thought, I can't bury my son. I can't do that. I'm a mother. Okay, so, I did what any mother, I loaned him some money. He told me he would get my jewelry back, not a problem. And he's an electrician. I don't even make $10 an hour. He's an electrician.
He was an unemployed electrician, so it doesn't make any difference how
I
much
can't help he can't keep jobs, and he goes right back to work.
He can't keep a job because if he's not using drugs, he has an attitude problem.
There you go. Bingo.
Unfortunately, you can't take a pill for that.
I know.
How much is it going to cost to get all your rings out of
A lot of my rings have been sold.
Well, how much is it going to cost to get what's left?
It's going to run right around $5,000, but the value was $13,000. But he didn't care.
Can I see photographs, please?
And here's one of the rings that's sold now. It was certified. That's what that is. Judge Judy?
Yes.
This is what he has now that's more important.
Listen to me. He won't have it for long.
I know that. You're right.
So,
It's paid every month. I ain't worried about that.
He won't have it for long.
I know that.
So, got it?
Yeah.
Mr. Williams, the truck that you now own, did you buy new or used?
Brand new.
And how much money did you put down on it?
$1,000.
How come you didn't get any of these rings back for your mother?
Because I didn't owe her any money.
Judgment for the plaintiff in the amount of $5,000. Don't give him any more money.
Oh, I have no intention.
Good.
Thank
Party
you.
excused. You may step out.
His real attitude came out. That's my son. I'm embarrassed for him.
When I bought that brand new truck, she kind of got angry with me because it's brand new and she drives a piece of crap.
I had to stalk him to try to get my money, and I couldn't get it out of him.
It'd be a nice break. She kind of gets on my nerves sometimes.
Oh, he'll get a break. When I get him home to Texas, he getting a break.
She just listened to a bunch of lies from my mother. I don't believe any of it.
I'll take care of that boy when we get to Texas. Okay, we have our own ways of dealing with
All
stuff.
parties in the matter of Vargo versus Beck. Step forward, please.
Plaintiffs Helga Vargo and her ex-husband, Robert, are suing their former friend, 25-year-old nursing assistant Billy Joe Beck, for the cost of bail when Billy Joe was arrested for outstanding warrants.
Miss Fargo, who's this?
This is my ex-husband.
And this used to be a friend of yours, I gather.
Yes.
And according to your complaint, she called you hysterical one day, that she had been arrested and she needed you to help her out with some bail money.
Yes.
You did, and she didn't pay you back.
Right.
And Ms. Beck says, well, she paid you back some, and the rest was a gift. That's your defense.
Right.
What were you arrested for, Ms. Beck?
I went to traffic court, and I had to pay fines, and I paid partial, and I was supposed to pay the rest back, but I thought I had paid it all off, and I didn't know I got a letter in the mail at my grandmother's house. She had thrown it away, so I never knew that I had a remaining amount, so they put a warrant on my driver's license, and that's why I ended up in jail.
When were you summoned and told to pay fines? In what year?
It was back in 2002.
For what?
Traffic violations.
What kind
Speeding.
of... Speeding. How many times were you caught speeding?
Twice.
Okay, and how much were the fines that the judge imposed?
Total, it came to $550.
How much of the $550 did you pay?
$350 before I moved.
So you knew you had $200 left to pay?
Yeah, I think I did. Yes, I did.
See how easy it is?
Yeah.
There's an old adage. Do you have parents, grandparents?
Yeah.
They'll tell you something, and it's a very good thing to live by. If you tell the truth, you don't have to have a good memory.
Right.
Now, did you expect the court in Ohio to send you a second or third invitation to pay the other $200?
I was supposed to get another letter to appear back in court, and I never got it. To pay back the rest, because I was...
So you expected another invitation.
Right.
You expected
I was
them
supposed to get another
re-invite you to come in.
I guess you could say that.
Any money from her.
She told me it was supposed to be for gas and food for them because she wasn't working at the time.
There were attempts made to collect the money from my ex-husband, and
that's why I gave her the extra $50, but she used it for her boyfriend to go to Florida.
I don't even talk to her anymore. I don't hear from her at all.
27-year-old babysitter Jenny Zanquist is suing her former friend, 26-year-old baker Erica Perez, for unpaid babysitting fees. Erica says the state denied her financial aid. She is countersuing for harassment.
Come to order, all rise.
Ms. Zanquist, Ms. Perez and you were friends at one time, and you agreed to babysit for her children while she was working.
Yes.
According to you, the arrangement was you were going to get paid, and then you would fill out some paperwork because she was entitled to child care from the state. And then you would accept the money that she got from the state for babysitting. Was that your agreement?
No, we had agreement, and when I first began babysitting, that when she receives her income tax, she would pay me. So I would watch them for $45 a day for 3 days a week, and then she would pay me when she gets her money from income tax.
When did you start to babysit for her?
In the month of December of last year.
And how many children do you have?
3, ma'am.
What kind of work were you doing in December of 2003?
I'm working at Dunkin' Donuts still. Same job I've been working at for 3 years.
So you were working for Dunkin' Donuts. And how much were you earning there?
$7.10 an hour, ma'am.
You get paid every week or every 2
weekly?
How much is your net check every week?
Like $140.
Do you get any public assistance for the children in addition to the $140?
Yes, I receive food stamps from the state.
What other money do you get?
That's child support for my son.
How much do you get in child support?
$93, ma'am.
A what?
A week.
How old are your children?
My oldest is 11, my middle one is 7, and my smallest one is 2.
Okay. And what do you do for a living, Missy?
I'm a student.
Full-time student? Are you full-time?
No, part-time. Of course, I didn't register for school because I was dependent on the income I was supposedly earning from watching the kids.
Is what you're telling me that you don't do anything right now? That's not an answer.
Like that. I do have a disability, so I don't do too much, but I am focusing on school.
When you start, you'll focus. Right now, you're not focused.
When I start, and I don't have to worry about trying to find a job, right?
Ms. Zanquist, how long have you and Ms. Perez been friends?
We've been friends on and off for 10 years.
Is she telling me the truth when she says she works at Dunkin' Donuts?
Yes, she is telling me the truth.
And she, I believe, is telling me the truth when she says she earns $7 an hour.
Yes.
And that her take-home pay is $140 a week.
Yes.
And how many days a week were you supposed to watch her children?
3 days a week.
Just a second. 3 days a week. So you expected her to pay you $135 a week.
Yes, I did.
Which means she would go to work for Dunkin' Donuts for $5 a week.
If I
Now, just a second. I'm doing the math. The math is simple. She comes home with $140 a week, and she was supposed to pay you $135 a week for taking care of her children. That's the math.
That's the math. Can I comment?
Sure.
Erica's working, like she said, 3 years there, part-time. She works there because it's mandatory from the state in order for her to get medical and food stamps benefits. She doesn't have expenses. She doesn't pay rent. Her father owns the house she lives in. She doesn't have any bills. We had an agreement, and she has the funds to pay for it. She has boyfriends that have money that support her, too. She has the money to make the agreement.
Ms. Zanquist, Ms. Perez says that she was going to apply to the state, which does provide child care expenses for people who have low income, and that you did, in fact, fill out the paperwork.
Yes.
When did you fill out the paperwork?
We started the process around April or May.
When?
Your Honor, we started in July. I got the papers.
July of what year?
Of 2004.
Well, she was babysitting for you from December until July.
Jessica's been babysitting my son, Your Honor, now all 3 kids. My son only since May of 2004.
Really?
Yes. I would never agree on paying a babysitter $135 a week when I only make a little chunk change.
Sounds
never an agreement.
Can I see the paperwork that you started to fill out?
And it's not my signature either. She forged my signature in it too, Your Honor. That's when it started, Your Honor.
Did you fill out these papers?
Yes.
Okay.
Can I say another thing, Your Honor?
Shh. Which child do you receive support for?
Cyrus, my son.
And Emily?
Emily and Melanie, I don't receive nothing for.
Well, they told you that in order for you to receive money, you have to at least apply for child support from the father of the other 2 children. Otherwise, they're not going to give you money through this program, Care for Kids.
He's in jail for murder.
Is that Emily's father?
No, that's Melanie's dad.
That's Melanie's father. What about Emily's father?
Emily's dad, child support is looking for him right now. He got issues in court. And a warrant for his arrest. He got a warrant out for his arrest.
Child support. Okay.
How you know?
Okay. No. How much money, if any, Ms. Perez, did you receive from Care for Kids?
I don't receive no money from Care for Kids, ma'am.
Did you ever receive any?
None. It goes under her name. The check comes under Jessica's name.
How much money, if any, did you receive from them?
Zero. Nothing.
Zero. Why?
Can I comment?
Yeah, sure.
I didn't receive anything from Care for Kids because every time we applied, we were denied. Well, every time she applied, she was denied because of lack of information that she was supposed to provide. Because of missing deadlines. They have deadlines. You miss it, they deny you. And she was adamant about saying no, that we didn't start in January, March. In April and May, in the process of Care for Kids, we did start. The person I spoke to at 5/11/04 at 11:40 a.m. was Ingrid, and I have a list of names of people that I've been in contact with.
All I have here, listen to me, all I have here is notification from the state that the application was received on July 9th, 2004. I don't have anything else. Because, listen to me. Do you have any proof that an application was submitted before that?
No, but I requested information and they said they wouldn't give it to me, they would give it to her.
Judge Judy continues in a moment. Jenny Zenqua says, former friend Erica Perez owes for babysitting fees. Erica says, Jenny incorrectly filled out the application for state aid.
Listen to me, madam. I do not believe you that you had an agreement with her to pay you $135 a week when all she earns is $140 a week. That just doesn't make sense. Nobody in their right mind is going to work for $5 a week and pay you $135 a week. What makes sense is that the two of you agreed that you would apply for this program and you would get the money from this program. She would turn it over to you and she would work. And the papers weren't filled out right. And then you had a fight. You had a fight because you had a fight over somebody's ex-boyfriend. I know whose ex-boyfriend. Whose was it?
Your Honor, she fought my sister in front of all the
so you had a fight with her sister and therefore all bets were off. That's what she says. That you had a fight with her sister over somebody's ex-boyfriend. The story that, believe me, at this hour I am totally disinterested in. I'm totally disinterested in the story of the fight that you had with her sister. As far as I'm concerned, I'm too late. What are you looking at me? It's such a ridiculous look on your face. I'm disinterested when ladies fight with each other. I think it's very unseemly. The only thing that I have to determine is whether I believe she made an arrangement to pay you her entire salary check. And I don't believe she did, so your case is dismissed.
Thank you, Your Honor. Jessica's being now used to go out with my sister 5 years ago, so she got a budget as my sister.
As far as the fight being over my boyfriend, it wasn't even about that.
She got him now. She's so insecure. She should be happy she got him now, though.
The guy has my name, Jessica, tattooed on his neck.
They make a perfect team together, both of them.
Show me the money.
She got what she deserves. She's crazy. She's crazy. Everybody in Bridgeport knows she's crazy. She's crazy.
And now the next case. Student Barbara Evans Cunningham is suing her ex-husband, store manager Bruce Evans, for his share of a Honda Accord purchased for their son. Bruce claims he never promised to pay for the vehicle.
All rise. This is case number 292 on the calendar, the matter of Evans Cunningham versus Evans. Vice been sworn in, Judge. You may be seated.
Ms. Cunningham, Mr. Evans was your husband.
Yes,
and you have one child?
Yes, ma'am.
A boy who is in high school now?
Yes, ma'am.
Is your claim that a couple of years ago, the two of you agreed that if your son got straight A's or good grades, that when he was a senior in high school, the two of you would chip in to buy a car?
Yes, ma'am.
You purchased a car for your son, and the defendant did not contribute half the money for the car.
That's correct, ma'am.
Unfortunately, the car that you purchased for your son blew an engine within a relatively short period of time, and you were forced to go out and buy another car for him.
Yes, ma'am.
You're not asking Mr. Evans to pay for that second car, but you want him to pay his half of the first car, which no longer exists. Is that right? That's what you're suing for?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. Mr. Evans says that you didn't consult him about the car, and he's not paying.
That's correct.
Okay. So, how long have you been divorced?
We've been divorced, ma'am, almost 10 to 11 years. I've known Mr. Evans since I was 16 years old.
Okay. Now, when did you purchase this car for your son? The first one?
The first car, ma'am, was 19 July of this year from my neighbor.
What kind of car was it?
It was a 1990 Honda Accord, ma'am, 4-door sedan.
And how much did you pay for the car?
The car cost $1,770.
When did you discuss this purchase with your husband?
Beginning the month of May 2004.
What did you say to him and what did he say to you?
He stated, that's good. Does the body look good on the car? Does the car run well? And I stated, yes, that my neighbor showed me where he maintained the maintenance on the car periodically. He stated that that's fine, go ahead with the purchase.
Is that right?
No.
Well, tell me what happened when she called you.
She called me and told me that her neighbor was selling the car for $1,500. She said that he was moving or something and that she could get the car. I told her, well, what kind of car is it? Because I haven't seen the car. Can I come check the car out or look at the car? She said that she know her neighbor pretty well because he lives right next door and that he takes good care of his cars and that she figured that it was good because she know him and she didn't think that he would sell her anything that wasn't
in good shape.
Right.
And what did you say to her?
I told her that, okay, then let me look at the car. You know,
well, you should listen to me, Mr. Evans. Let's not dance around with each other, sir.
Okay.
If things make sense, they make sense. It makes sense that she told you about this car and you said, well, I'd like to take a look at it.
Correct.
That makes sense. And she said, well, I don't think, according to you, I don't think I have to take a look at it. This is my neighbor. I know him very well. I know that he's taken good care of the car. I've seen the records on the car. And then you have to say something else. Either you say to her, well, I still want to take a look at it and I'll call and make an appointment. Or you say to her, fine. Now, which is it?
I told her I still wanted to look at the car. I told her, I asked her when was the guy moving and when was the last day that she was going to actually get the car. She didn't actually purchase the car from the guy until the day before he left.
So why didn't you go over there and take a look at it?
He did, ma'am.
No,
Just a second. He did?
Yes, ma'am.
When did he go over there, Ms. Cunningham?
Ma'am, he did a drive-by of the car in June.
When you say drive-by?
The car is parked in front of the neighbor's yard, and I shared with him, it was on a Sunday evening, he was picking up our son. I stated that the car is parked in the front yard of my neighbor. When you pick Kelvin up, you can pass by and see the car. He acknowledged that the car was showroom clean, based on the outside of the body.
I never met the neighbor, so I don't...
Just a second. You don't have to meet the neighbor, Mr. Evans.
Well, I'm saying as far as going to his yard and stuff.
Mr. Evans, did you ask for the neighbor's name?
No, because...
Just a second. Is there any reason why you didn't ask for the neighbor's name?
Because I asked her to set it up so we could go by and look at it together.
What's wrong with you? She's already looked at the car. If you want to look at the car, Mr. Evans, you have to be proactive.
Asking her to set it up with a neighbor that she already knows is proactive. I just can't go to this man's house and just
No, it isn't. Listen to me. Baloney. Listen, Mr. Evans. Baloney. I'm sympathetic with you to this. When I read your answer to this extent, you said, well, she bought this car. She didn't ask for my input. And if she bought the car without asking for my input, I'm not paying for half. That's what you said in your answer, right?
That is correct.
And I'm telling you that I was sympathetic with that answer because I think that it's wrong for someone, if in fact it's true, for Miss Cunningham to say, listen, we agreed 2 years ago we were going to buy my son a car. I saw my neighbor's car. I liked the car. I went and bought the car, and then I presented my ex-husband with half the bill. And my ex-husband said to me, I'm not paying for half the bill on this car that you picked out yourself because I didn't have any input. That's what you're saying. And I was sympathetic. But that's not what happened. Mr. Evans, no.
Judge, I never saw the car.
That's your fault. That's your fault. You have 2 eyes, you have a mouth, you have a finger that can do the walking through the yellow pages and the white pages. I am speaking, sir. Now, certain things make sense, and I've been in this business a long time. What kind of work do you do, sir?
Manage a payday loan store.
And if somebody doesn't give you the money, what do you do?
We try calling them and getting them to come in. And
now, when you try calling them, let's say, put your papers down. Let's say you have their address.
Yes, ma'am.
And you don't have a telephone number.
Yes, ma'am.
What do you do?
Mail them a letter.
Did you ever think of calling information to get a telephone number? Have you ever done that, Mr. Evans? You know exactly where I'm going, sir. You
yes,
get information, you try to get it from information. You take out a phone book, you turn to the white pages and see in the white pages whether there's an address that corresponds with that. Or you can do both and mail them a letter.
Yes, ma'am.
What I'm saying to you, Mr. Evans, you are a smart man. You're a businessman. If you wanted to take a look at this car, inside and out, all you had to do was be a little proactive.
She never gave me the person's name.
No, she doesn't have to give you. Listen to me. You ask. You did not ask.
Judge, I asked Barbara to let me come by and look at the car.
Shh. Don't ask Barbara. Barbara has taken care of your son for the past 11 years.
Barbara and I have taken care of our son.
No, let's get straight.
Barbara and I have taken care of our son.
1, 2. You know what?
Barbara has not taken care of our son by herself. I have always been there for my child, and I don't want her being caught saying that.
I'm speaking. Don't speak over me.
Yes, ma'am.
Who has primary physical custody of your son?
Kelvin is with Barbara because Kelvin...
Don't tell me because. Who has primary...
I do.
You do. Let me see the papers that give you primary physical custody.
I don't have them with me.
Okay.
When we got a divorce, Judge...
Barbara, turn around.
When we got a divorce years ago, I had primary custody of our son. I had it for the 9 months he was in school. She had it for the summer months. That's in the divorce decree. Okay, after Kelvin stayed with me for the first 4 years, then when Barbara kept calling and complaining and crying to him, saying how much this and how much that, he asked me, he said, Daddy, can I go stay with my mom's son? I said, okay, son, I don't have a problem with that. If that's what you want to do, I'll let you do that. I moved so I can be close to him. Barbara got transferred again to Colorado. I moved out to Colorado so I can still be close to my son. She got transferred to St. Louis. I moved to St. Louis so I can still be close to my one and only son. So I could be there for him to help raise him. So with her coming up in here saying that I have not helped and I have not been there for my son, that is downright ridiculous.
So then I'm asking you, sir, if you did all this moving from one city to another city to another city, with all that entails for moving, so for the last 6 years, he's been living with his mother. You've moved. So for the last 6 years full-time, she's been the full-time custodial parent, and you've moved so that you could accommodate her work. Whatever that was, you've moved because you thought it was in your child's best interest. You moved, you've changed, you've got an apartment, you've got turned on gas, electric, telephone, you've moved, you've transferred registrations on cars, and you're telling me that you couldn't find out the name of the neighbor who lives next door so you could go and look at the car? Mr. Evans, I don't buy it.
Judge,
now,
if she had allowed me the opportunity to do that before she moved ahead, then that's what would have happened. But she did not allow me the opportunity. That's just like after the car.
Stop crying.
Judge Judy continues in a moment. And later today, Barbara Evans Cunningham says ex-husband Bruce Evans owes for his share of a Honda Accord purchased for their son. Bruce says Barbara didn't consult him first.
Now, I find first that you did in fact agree to pay for half the car. That she in good faith called you and said to you before she purchased the car, I have the ability to purchase this car that I think is a good deal. You said to her, is it a good car? I'd like to come and take a look at it. You're leaving it up to her. And she's a working gal too, I gather, because you say that you moved to accommodate her career, which means that she probably earns more than you do. So that she's a busy girl. So instead of you making the appointment with the neighbor, because I'm sure it's a perfectly nice person that she purchased the car from, and you're not a bad man, I mean, you're not an ex-convict, are you?
No.
But, so the neighbor wouldn't suggest, I don't want him near me, or near my house, or near my children, or near my family. You're just a nice man. You're a nice man who's got a child who needs a car, a teenager. And you say, listen, I want to come and take the car out because I understand that my ex-wife wants to buy it. That's a very simple thing. Very simple. You chose not to do that. You chose to say, you make the arrangements. And when she didn't make the arrangement, she said to you, give me the $850. You said, no, judgment for the plaintiff, $850. That's it.
Please excuse me, Mr. Bell.
Bruce has been very downright evil to me. He has always manipulated the system. He has never held a full-time job in his whole life.
My ex-wife is disgruntled. That's all it is.
I am the reason to be disgruntled and upset because I have a very wonderful life. And my life got better after I got rid of him.
For her to get in court and say that I'm not there to take care of my son or not help with my son, it's just downright ridiculous.
I'm going to applaud and scream with hallelujah when you're out of all your money. You're nothing but a freeloader.
So Barbara just got some evil ways about her, I guess, and that's all it is.
Don't have babies with men and don't take care of their